Yeah, let's talk about that, because if some of you remember, there was an old trick you can do in a send. You could go to a send, let's say send A and E, and you could either select to show that each send was there, and then you'd have to click on that send, and it would pop up a fader that you'd work with, or you could press, what was the keyboard shortcut, Mike? Was it
Command
Control?
and click.
Command and click on it, and then you see a mini fader. But the trouble is that mini fader would inhabit the space of all of your 5 plugins. So you'd have to choose which send you were going to choose. So it would either show you send A, send B, send C, send D, send E, etc., etc. Now they're allowing you to have as many of those as you want, even to the case where you can actually hide the master fader, if the faders at the bottom of the channel if you want. And that may, some of you may think that sounds a little mad, but there are people out there that mix matrix mode. So all they want is matrices of their faders. They don't mix via sends at the bottom. So basically, you could see a reverb send, you could see an echo send, and you'd have a pile of faders across your channels. Now, I think that's really cool. So you've got mini dynamics metering as well. So when you insert a dynamics effect, plugin into any channel, or in fact any plugin, so a reverb, you will see on the end of the insert now, on the left there used to be that dot where you inserted something, and now on the right there's a little meter, and that meter shows you there's activity going on. Now obviously it's not accurate enough to really make a big decision, but at least you can see that all of that stuff is sending somewhere. And so if sometimes you've got stuff sending around Pro Tools, you can't find out where it's coming from, you'll be able to see now what's sending from each channel, both with the mini sends view and the expanded sends view as well. Now I think, Mike, that's pretty cool.
It is. It does mean that you can leave it in what we used to call the assign mode, so you get your little box which told you where each send was going, but in that little box now the right hand end is a little meter, and then instead of having to be able to just expand out to one send, we can expand all the sends. So if you can have 8 sends, you can have your A to E, F to J, all of them all expanded. So you don't have to pick and choose, because I always used to reconfigure my sends so that I could have one of the A to E's in expanded mode and one of the F to J's in expanded mode. Don't need to do that anymore, and I can have all 10 in expanded mode. So that, again, very, very helpful.
Which is probably also a good time to bring up, while we're talking about this, another thing that has been a bit of a bind has been been bypassing and selecting plugins and inserts.